So I wanted to come today and speak to you about food justice and equity. When you think about food in a low-income neighborhood in San Antonio, in inner city San Antonio, what do you think of? You think of this, right? A food desert. So what is a food desert? A food desert means that there's no healthy food anywhere in sight. Maybe there's a lot of fast food restaurants, a lot of McDonald's, Burger King, a lot of corner stores that just sell beer and alcohol and junk food, a lot of grocery stores with produce that's not really that fresh. Locally too, this is what we see. Enchilada plate number 2, the taco trucks, a lot of ice cream trucks and after-school stuff. The takis. If anyone here in San Antonio knows, like middle school students here in San Antonio love takis, which is really bad for you. But those of us who live in these inner city neighborhoods, we know as well about other things. We know that, and I say we because I was raised and still live in a neighborhood right next to this one, and we know about the collards on the stove and the beans simmering, the pot of beans simmering on the stove, and the tortillas, on the comal. We know about Christmas time and making tamales with our family. So the conversation really needs to go very local. When we talk about food, a lot of times in my world, in public health and at the health department, we use terms that are really disconnected. We say the food environment, we say food insecurity, we say words like affordability, accessibility, culturally appropriate. And really at the grassroots level, that's really kind of disconnected to the reality on the ground, which is poverty, and which is keeping your lights on, let alone food on the table. And also those good things and the good positive attributes and all the wonderful food and the culture and love that surrounds us. So at the health department, we kind of decided to go a little more grassroots and ask the residents and ask the people within those places, within those inner city neighborhoods, and really kind of ask them, rather than coming and saying, well, we think that this is what should happen, asking, the grandmas and the tias and the homeboys and the homegirls, what do you want to see, or what would you like, and especially related to healthy eating and active living. We have a program for neighborhood health that we created. We have 10 community organizers working in 10 inner city San Antonio neighborhoods, and most of the organizers are from the neighborhood, so they're peers. It's kind of using a promotora model. And it's really not about starting any programming, but doing community organizing and having those conversations about what is a healthy neighborhood, and what would you like to see, and what are the stories that you have. And it's been really profound. We've been doing this for about 8 months, and what we found more than anything else is that this idea of self-determination, which is feeling in control of your own life. So when you think about food and you think about the context at the grassroots, there are many forces at play that make you feel that you don't have control over your life, let alone what you eat, what you put in your body. So we've been having a lot of kind of community conversations, a lot of pláticas, a lot of cafecitos, getting small groups of people together. Out of that has grown a lot of parties, a lot of block parties, a lot of potlucks, a lot of sharing recipes, and a lot of kind of confessing that we don't know where our food comes from, we don't know how to cook anymore, we don't appreciate our culture anymore, so we think that our own food, our own Mexican food, is making us sick. And that's not the case. And so what we've been doing is kind of doing a lot of cooking and a lot of talking together at the neighborhood level. There's a saying, la cultura cura, and what we really like to promote is the idea that at the neighborhood level and in the grassroots, we have everything that we already need. It's right here, right now. We can just change some of our recipes. We can learn how to cook. We can decide for ourselves and really, gain that control of our lives at that level, even if we don't have a lot of money. But hey, what if we all cook together? What if we share food? What if we bring back the celebratory nature of food? So the same idea. When you grow up in some of these neighborhoods, you're really told throughout your life that your deficit. It's all about deficits. Oh, everyone has diabetes, everyone is a pregnant teenager, and we really have been trying to kind of change the community conversation of all the beautiful and wonderful things that happen at that level, and kind of lift up those voices and build that community capacity to decide, what do we want to do in our local economies to kind of take over that food? What do we want to grow? What do we want to eat? How do we want to celebrate together and lift ourselves up? And I think over time, because we've only been doing this for 8 months, but I really envision that over time, we're going to start having conversations about food systems and what does that mean? And how do you build a food systems out of a network, really starting at the grassroots and a network of neighborhoods working together, creating the basis and a really strong basis. And I just want to kind of hit it home to you that we believe very strongly in equity. And so when you promote ideas, or if you create a food system without thinking about equity, it's probably not going to be sustainable because you are only as strong as your weakest link. And we really need to lift up those people that need it most. And so that's all I had to say. Sorry, a little nervous. Thank you.